were 30 sportsmen signed in tonight. 26 have made their way into tonight's FX Caprara Honda Dirt Car Sportsman feature, brought to you by Bartlett's Heating and Air Conditioning in Adams. Starting inside row number 1, driver the number 44, that'll be David Rogers. And on the outside, the number 60 is Jackson Gill. Jessica Power, the number 52, will be inside row number 2, and on the outside, it'll be Mike Prentice in the number 72. Get to it. Jack Meeks, number 1, sits inside row number 3. I had a laugh up here. We got a name on the thing. Taylor Caprara will be outside in the number 21. Joel Hall's number 29, Jay, will sit inside row number 2. And on the outside will be Josh Reome in the number 91. Jared Herbison's number 38, Jay, and Preston Forbes, the 45R, make up row number 5. Row number 6, that'll be Andrew Wren, the number 415, and George Sanford in the number 25 machine. Dalton Rombough's number 41 and Chris Thurston's number 2 make up row number 7. Row number 8, that'll be Sean Shaw, the 7S, and on the outside, Gavin Eisele in the 18E. Eric Nier's 34 and JT Spearing's number 7J make up row number 9. Row number 10 to the inside, Jordan Kelly, the 24, and Trevor Gibbons in the 621G. Anthony Stockman's number 57 and Addison Bowman's number 12 make up row number 11. Row number 12 will be Tyler Reynolds, the 81, and Jamie Brown in the 10B. And our final row has Brian Hudson, the 621, and Derek Webb in the 66W. Genevieve Bartlett turning 7 years old tonight. She is going to let this powerful field of sportsmen go over in turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. They'll work off turn number 2 for the first time. Down the backstretch, they will go David Rogers out in front of the field. Couple of cars hooked together, slow on the backstretch. Everybody gets away, and we stay green.
Yellow tire on the racetrack, yellow.
And we got a track tire up in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. FX Caprara Dirt Car Sportsman feature brought to you by Bartlett Heating and Air Conditioning in Adams. Off turn number 4, green flag is back in the air.
It's in the air, too.
Turn number 2, they will go side by side. It'll be David Rogers down to the bottom of the racetrack. Jackson Gill had to look to the outside for a second, couldn't get by him. Now they're going to be stacked up 3 wide. Well, the spot for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Over in turn number 3 and 4. Off turn number 4, they continue to run side by side, stuck right in the middle of the speedway. A lot of smoke from Dalton Rombough's number 41 machine. And we got a car around right in the middle of the speedway. All the way around. Car got twisted around in a knot, was able to keep going, but the caution flag did come out. I believe we got a car off the top of turn number 1 and 2.
Have someone make sure that 41's not put.
For the sportsmen here this evening. Kurt Beck with green, go stick in hand. He's going to turn him loose over in turn number 4. David Rogers again is going to take him off for turn number 2. Down the backstretch he will go. The number 60 of Jackson Gill is going to settle back into that number 2 spot. And the caution is going to come right back out once again.
Car in turn 2.
2 cars together over on turn number 2. Preston Forbes, one of the cars that got off the top of the racetrack in that 45. Down to the infield, we get ready to fire him back to life over in turn number 3 and 4. Steve Rickett and the Kurt Beckwith back to the office on top of the stairs, ready to turn the cars loose one more time off turn number 4. David David Rogers, bottom of the racetrack. Jackson Gill on the outside as those two try to pull away from the field down the backstretch. They'll head towards turn number 3. Number 52, Jessica Power, working her way towards the front of the field, goes up into that number 4 spot as they work off turn number 4. Down the front stretch, they will come. Good battle for the number 2 spot. Here comes Mike Prentice to the inside. One car stopping over in turn number 3 and 4. Well, Gavin Eisele sitting right down on the racetrack in the top of turn number 4. You can see the left front suspension broken on the number 8.
I was looking at the points.
Over in turn number 3 and 4, David Rogers, your leader, is going to pound the throttle. He'll bring him off turn number 4 down the front stretch. Rogers going to bring him off turn number 1 and 2. He'll take him racing down the backstretch. Jackson Gill races up into that number 2 spot. Mike Prentice to the outside. Prentice going to battle for the number 2 spot as they swing through turn number 3 and 4. Off turn number 4, racing down the front stretch. And Mike Prentice drives to the outside of Jackson Gill. He'll take over spot number 2. Gill races right back to the inside. Jessica Power holds on to the number 3 spot, or 4 spot, excuse me, as they get turn number 2. Down the backstretch, they will go. Josh Reome rounds out the top 5 cars as they head to turn number 3 and 4. Off turn number 4, dancing down the front stretch, they will go. And it continues to be a great battle out in front. Here comes Josh Reome trying to hold off a hard-charging Taylor Caprara. Caprara down to the bottom. Reome slams the door shut as they'll exit turn number 2, race down the backstretch. Just outside those top 5 cars is Jared Herbison, Joel Hall, George Sanford, Chris Thurston, Tyler Reynolds, and Brian Hudson. The next few cars in line as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Right now, Jackson Gill trying to hold on to that number 2 spot. Mike Prentice goes up the hill one more time, turn number 3 and 4, down to, out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. As the field gets spread out around the Speedway, they work off turn number 2 down the backstretch into turn number 3 and 4. David Rogers trying to look for a place to run and hide early going here in this feature race. He'll go down to the turn number 1 and 2. Jackson Gill holding on to the number 2 spot as they'll work off turn number 2. Mike Prentice settles in that 3rd position, followed by the 52 of Jessica Power midway down the backstretch. Josh Reome continuing to round out the top 5 cars as they swing through turn number 3 and 4. And caution flag going to have to come out one more time. Top 5 cars, so we get ready to go back to green flag this next time through. Rogers again is going to try to hold off a hard charging field. Jackson Gilbin very quickly on the outside as green flag is back in the air. Again, David Rogers is going to work off turn number 2. He'll go take him racing down the backstretch. Jackson Gill trying to hold the number 2 spot. Here goes Mike Prentice one more time. Prentice looks to the inside as they swing into turn number 3 and 4. Josh Reome, the next car in line as they go to 4. Reome right in the middle of the Speedway. Looks right at the back of the Prentice. Number 72 down the front stretch. Here comes Taylor Caprara. Caprara down to the bottom of the racetrack. They're 3 wide. 4 wide over in turn number 2. They went 4 wide, and Taylor Caprara is going to be the one that looks like a hero as he'll go all the way up into the number 2 spot. He'll work outside Mike Prentice over in turn number 3 and 4. Off turn number 4, they will come a couple of cars hooked together over there, turn number 3 and 4, and everybody keeps going. Hallelujah. Down into turn number 2, that battle will continue for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spots. They work down the backstretch. Off turn number 3 and 4, David Rogers again trying to stretch out a half a straightaway advantage over the field. He'll come racing down into turn number 1. Jackson Gill continues to hold the number 2 spot. Side by side, Caprara and Mike Prentice going at it. So David Rogers, after that, it's Anthony Stockman working his way up towards the front. Jared Herbison, the next car in the line. And one car slow down the front stretch, the 16 of Jacobs. And he'll keep going, and we stay green. So David Rogers down the front stretch, Jackson Gill second. Third is Josh Reome, followed by the 72 of Mike Prentice and Taylor Caprara chasing him. Anthony Stockman, who had consolation race, almost into the top 5 right now as they work off turn number 2. Down the backstretch they will go, and caution flag is out on the speedway.
Come around.
New York down into turn number 3 and 4, and Steve Ricketts going to look the field over. David Rogers trying to survive another restart here tonight. He'll bring him off turn number 4. Green flag is back in the air. Rogers takes him off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Couple of cars getting hooked together. Everybody stays going. Down to turn number 3 and 4, that battle up front. Look at this as Mike Prentice now looks to the outside of Jackson Gill. Rogers off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Jackson Gill holds on to the number 2 spot. Third would be Mike Prentice as they head to turn number 3 and 4. Josh Reome's number 91 holding on to the number 4 spot right now, right in front of Anthony Stockman's number 57. The 21 of Taylor Caprara also in the mix as they come racing down the front stretch. Stockman, as we said, had to get in through the consolation race, and he'll run up into the top 6 cars now right now when they work off turn number 2, go racing down the backstretch. Jared Herbison just behind him, then side by side behind him. That is Chris Thurston, bottom of the racetrack. And on the outside as they work off turn number 3 and 4, that'll be Sean Shaw. On the outside, Brian Hudson also into the mix. So that work continues to stay the same as they work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. The first side-by-side battle is all the way back here for the 10th and 11th spot. The midway down the backstretch. Cross flags are coming out halfway home this time by as they come to the line. Cross flags, we are halfway in this 30-lap feature go here for these Sportsman cars. That lineup stays the same out in front. They work off turn number 2 that last time around.
Make sure everybody's paying attention.
Taylor Caprara turning a 23.111 that last trip around the speedway as he tries to reel in the rest of the field. So David Rogers down into turn number 3 and 4. Trying to distance himself from the field one more time as Jackson Gill continues to hold on to the number 2 spot. They work off turn number 4, racing down the front stretch. Mike Prentice trying to hold off a hard-charging Taylor Caprara. Then it's Josh Reome followed by Anthony Stockman. Jared Herbison holds on to the next spot. Chris Thurston is 8th on the field, followed by Addison Bowman, Brian Hudson. 10th, 11th is Sean Shaw. 12th is Eric Nier. The 13th spot belongs to Preston Forbes, followed by Joel Hall, and Derek Webb rounds out the top 15 cars. George Sanford right behind him in 17th as the field continues to show their way around the speedway over in turn at number 1 and 2. Rogers not able to get away from the field. Good battle shaping up for the 3 spot. Down the backstretch, side by side. Here comes the 21 of Taylor Caprara. He's going to slide underneath the 72 of Mike Prentice. Caution flag's going to wave once again. Another restart here. Jackson Gill, Mike Prentice right there on the back bumper again, and both have been lightning fast. Taylor Caprara also in that mix. Josh Reome right there looking to pounce as well as they head to turn number 3 and 4. Anthony Stockman just outside that top 5 had to race in through the consi, and he's raced his way up into a 6th spot. Turn number 2, they will go once again, and out in front, David Rogers trying to hold off the field again on another restart. Jackson Gill now comes down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find room to run underneath. Looks to the inside, but Rogers gets a good run off the top side of the racetrack. Here comes Mike Prentice continuing to hold on to that number 3 spot. Taylor Caprara is going to look inside of him over in turn number 2. Caprara looks down to the bottom. Rogers takes him off turn number 2. Caprara up to the number 4 spot, followed by Josh Josh Reome. Keep an eye on the 57 of Anthony Stockman. As they said, came in through the Consi, and now all the way up to the 6th position as they work off turn number 4. He'll come down to the bottom of the racetrack, followed by the number 38 of Jared Herbison, and then it'll be the 621 of Brian Hudson. He'll go to the top side of the racetrack. Chris Thurston trying to slide a nose underneath him. Thurston gets it up alongside Addison Bowman, watching that battle side by side in front of him. Thurston with a good run down the backstretch, trying to race his way up into the top 8 cars. Off turn number 4, Rogers continuing to show the way. There goes Taylor Caprara, slides underneath the 72 of Mike Prentice, now slides up the racetrack. Prentice to the outside, Caprara all the way up to the 3rd position as they go down the backstretch. Turn number 3 and 4, David Rogers trying to survive once again. Here comes Mike Prentice back to the outside of Taylor Caprara. Best battle on the racetrack is for that 3rd spot. They're side by side, and now Caprara able to get a nose up alongside of Jackson Gill. He'll put the nose to the inside. Gill slams the door shut over in turn number 2. Down the backstretch they will go. Keep an eye on this battle over into turn number 3. Battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place right now. 3 cars having at it. It's Prentice trying to get back to the outside. Gill trying to hold on to it, and now Caprara with a nose underneath them. Down in turn number 1 and 2. They come side by side. Caprara to the bottom. Gill just slams the door shut and holds on to the number 2 spot. Down the backstretch, that battle will continue. This one's a fun one now as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Jackson Gill doing a masterful job of hold off a hard charging Taylor Caprara as they work off turn number 4, racing down the front stretch. Anthony Stockman is going to get by and take over the number 5 spot. So Anthony Stockman all the way up to 5th. After starting back in 21st, he continues to work his way towards the front of the field. Stockman now to the inside of the 72 of Mike Prentice over in turn number 4.
He's way out there. No way to get that one.
We get ready to go back to green. 5 more laps will be the issue. Less than a heat race now off turn number 4. Rogers again trying to hold that lead, takes him off turn number 2. Jackson Gill had a nose underneath him for just a second. They'll go racing down the backstretch. Taylor Caprara in that 3rd position. There goes Mike Prentice back by on the outside. All of a sudden, Prentice has got speed once again. He'll work to the top side of the speedway, looks to the outside of Caprara, and drives right around the number 57 of Anthony Stockman. So Mike Prentice back up to 3rd. Now he sets his sights, or I should say on the 4th, sets his sights on 3rd as they go racing down the backstretch. Turn number 3 and 4. This battle will continue for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spots as they work off turn number 4 down the front stretch. Caprara trying to get to the back bumper of Jackson Gill, can't get it done. And Mike Prentice, again, as we said, out of Central Square, able to race his way back up into that 4th spot as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Parallel sticks will be coming out this time. Off turn number 4, they will race down the front stretch. Coming to the line, it will be the 44 of David Rogers, followed by the number 60 of Jackson Gill, Taylor Caprara, Mike Prentice. Then it's Anthony Stockman, Josh Reome, Jared Herbison, Chris Thurston, Addison Bowman, Brian Hudson, Eric Nier. The next few cars in line as they work down to turn number 3 and 4. White flag will wave this time. David Rogers, 4 car lengths, 5 car lengths out in front. Side by side battle for the number 2 spot. Here comes Caprara to the inside, but Jackson Gill able to hold him off. They work off turn number 2. Gill trying to hold on to that 2nd position, goes racing down the backstretch. Caprara one more time ready to throw it at him in turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag will wave, and David Rogers is going to survive all the restarts. He'll bring the 44 to victory lane. Jackson Gill will be 2nd. 3rd will be Taylor Caprara. 4th will be the 72 of Mike Prentice. He'll be followed by Anthony Stockman, Josh Reome, Jared Herbison, Chris Thurston, Addison Bowman, Brian Hudson, Eric Nier, Sean Shaw, Andrew Wren, Preston Forbes, Joel Hall, Derek Webb.
72, 57.
Well, the FX Caprara Honda Dirt Car Sportsman feature win is going to go to David Rogers in the 44. David, congratulations. You had to survive a lot of restarts out there, man.
Oh, it was killing me there. I've ran a 100-lap race that didn't take that long. It just, I think those tires, we got to do something about it because every week, same thing. And, I get what they're there for, but it ain't no good doing that.
This car seemed to get going off every restart. You were able to take off the bottom of the racetrack and drive away.
Yeah, there's a little bit of bite down there, and I just stayed committed the whole race. And, you can tell when you got a fast car, and I knew it was pretty good, so that's just where I stayed.
People you want to thank, Dave?
I got to thank Jordan McCready. 2:30 this afternoon, I gave him a call, and he had some parts for me so we could get this thing together for tonight. And John Schwan there, he's my crew guy, and he was with me. We didn't finish this thing up till 5:30 tonight, and I got to thank Eddie and my wife, my boy Mason, everybody here.
All right, well, congratulations. Another beautiful run. He survives a bunch of restarts and finds his way to victory lane. So David Rogers is going to be your FX Caprara Honda Dirt Car Sportsman feature winner on the series race tonight, brought to you by DP Bartlett Heating and Air Conditioning. One more race to go. It's another 30-lapper, $2,000 on the line, the Battle Border Series between Brock